There is a small island in Japan. It has no fancy hospitals, no expensive gyms, no anti-aging clinics. And yet, the people there live longer than almost anyone else on Earth. Okinawa, Japan. Home to more people over 100 years old than anywhere else in the developed world. And when researchers flew in expecting to find some secret superfood or miracle supplement, they found something that completely shook them. The oldest people on the island weren't even trying to live long. They weren't counting calories. They weren't doing ice baths. They weren't biohacking. They were just living. And that is the secret Western science keeps missing. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear will change how you think about your entire life. Researchers call Okinawa a blue zone. A blue zone is a region where people regularly live past 90 and 100 years old, and do it in good health. Not bedridden, not medicated, not suffering. Active, sharp, happy. National Geographic journalist Dan Buettner spent years studying these zones, and what he found in Okinawa wasn't a diet plan. It wasn't a supplement stack. It was a way of thinking about life itself. Today we're breaking down exactly what that looks like. And more importantly, how you can apply it starting today. 1. Ikigai. The Japanese don't have a word for retirement. Let's start with the one thing that surprised researchers the most. When they asked elderly Okinawans what kept them going, nobody said family. Nobody said money. Nobody said good food. They said one word. Ikigai. Ikigai doesn't have a perfect English translation, but the closest version is this: the reason you get out of bed in the morning. Not a goal, not a dream, not a 5-year plan, just a reason. Today, right now, to be alive. For one 97-year-old woman, her Ikigai was her garden. She watered it every single morning. For a 103-year-old fisherman, it was going to the water, not to catch fish for money, just because the sea made him feel something. Here's what Western science discovered about this. People without a clear life purpose die on average 7 years earlier than those who have one. 7 years. Not from disease, not from accident, from emptiness. The body reads purposelessness as a signal to shut down. And in the West, we actually celebrate removing purpose from people's lives. We call it retirement. We tell people, you've worked hard enough. Stop now, rest. And within 2 years of retirement, many people develop depression, cognitive decline, and chronic illness, because the body stopped receiving its most important signal. You are still needed here. Japanese elders never get that signal removed. Their Ikigai isn't their job. So when the job ends, they don't end with it. Ask yourself right now, if money wasn't a factor, what would still pull you out of bed? That answer is your Ikigai. And protecting it might be the most important health decision you ever make. 2. Movement. They don't exercise. Movement just lives in their day. Here's something that will sound strange. Most Okinawan centenarians have never been to a gym. Not once. They don't own running shoes. They don't track steps. They don't follow workout programs. And their bodies are stronger than most 60-year-olds in America. How? Because in Japanese culture, movement is never separated from daily life. It is daily life. Okinawan homes are traditionally built low to the ground. You sit on the floor to eat. You sit on the floor to watch TV. You sit on the floor to talk. That means every single day, you get down and up off the floor dozens of times. That one movement pattern alone keeps your hips, knees, and core strong well into old age. Researchers call it passive exercise, movement that happens without thinking, without scheduling, without motivation. Okinawan elders also walk, not for fitness, but for living. To the market, to a neighbor's home, to the garden. They grow food not as a hobby, but as a daily ritual that keeps their hands, backs, and minds active. Compare that to the Western model. We sit for 10 hours. Then we drive to a gym for 45 minutes. Then we sit again. We've isolated movement into a scheduled box, and removed it from everywhere else. The Japanese never did that. And their joints, their hearts, and their brains are paying the difference. The lesson isn't, go to the gym more. The lesson is, make it impossible to be still. Sit on the floor sometimes. Walk to get things. Use your body to live, not just to exercise. 3. Social obligation. Loneliness kills faster than smoking. The Japanese solve this. Here's a statistic that should stop you cold. Chronic loneliness is as deadly as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Not a little unhealthy, deadly. And right now, loneliness is at epidemic levels across the Western world. People have hundreds of online friends, and nobody to call at 2 a.m. In Okinawa, this problem barely exists because of one tradition: moai. A moai is a small group of people, usually 5 to 8, who commit to each other for life. They were originally formed as financial support groups centuries ago, but over time they became something much more powerful: emotional anchors. Your moai meets regularly. You share meals, you share problems, you share money when someone needs it. You are accountable to each other. And here's the critical part: belonging to a moai isn't optional. It's a social obligation. You show up, not because you feel like it, but because people are counting on you. That obligation turns out to be one of the greatest health interventions in human history, because it gives you a reason to get dressed, a reason to leave the house, a reason to be present. Western culture has taught us that needing people is weakness, that independence is the goal, that we shouldn't burden others with our problems, and we are dying of that philosophy. Japanese culture says the opposite. You need your people, and your people need you. That mutual need is not a burden. It is medicine. Think about your own life. Do you have people who would notice if you disappeared for a week? Not online followers, not work colleagues, real people, close people, because that circle might matter more to your health than any supplement you're taking. 4. No retirement mentality. The most dangerous day of your life might be your last day of work. In the Japanese language, there is no direct word for retirement. The closest concept they have literally translates to withdrawal from public life. Not stopping, not ending, just shifting. When a Japanese elder reaches the age when Western people would retire, they don't stop contributing. They become the village elder, the wisdom keeper, the person younger people come to with questions. Their role doesn't disappear, it transforms. And this distinction is everything. Because the human brain requires 3 things to stay healthy: purpose, novelty, social connection. Full retirement removes all 3 at once, and the body treats it like an illness. Studies show that men who retire early die younger, regardless of their wealth or health at the time of retirement. The act of stopping triggers a biological countdown. But Japanese elders who keep a role, even an informal one, show dramatically slower cognitive decline. Their brains stay wired. Their identity stays intact. They don't live longer because they found the fountain of youth. They live longer because they never decided they were done. Think about what you want the last chapter of your life to look like.